finalize that slot for themselves, and well, they certainly have a point to prove. So, first match of ESL Impact Season 7 finals here, FURIA versus DMS.
Right then, looks like we are going to have a charge from the T side of FURIA straight in towards the B bomb site. Start as they mean to go on, headshots ringing through, and it will be a retake situation for what remains of DMS. 3 on 5. Bomb not planted just yet. FURIA making sure they have secured the area. And now that bomb has been planted. CTs are here though, and that's 2 very quick from Averona. And there's more work for the rest of the team to do. She will get dropped as FURIA will have some angles. Maybe a bait set up outside the bomb site as well, if only Kara is showing. And it's just Sosia now. Last woman standing for DMS, and she won't make it into that bomb site. FURIA starts off well.
And Averona is definitely someone that I was keeping an eye out for, but that first round just really speaks to exactly what Newt was talking about earlier on. The Fast and the FURIA instantly cracking in onto that site, getting those first couple of kills instantly, and then that retake scenario is so difficult. I think that Averona getting those 2 kills certainly opened up possibility for them, but they're all kind of funneling in from the same direction, and unfortunately that pistol round does not go the way that they wanted. So next round should be a bit of a foregone conclusion, and hopefully we can pick things up as we head into the rifle round in the next.
Those pistol rounds become oh so more crucial when you have these best of 1 scenario, especially when you lose on the CT side as well. Hell of a setback. That'll be an interesting thing to track as this tournament goes on as well. The pistol round wins can really put you in a good spot. There are some shenanigans for DMS. However, FURIA have opened the correct door. Now we can see there's minimal investment here from the CTs. You don't want to give them rifles if you can help it. Shooting gallery then for FURIA. Very promising start from them. Very quick 2-0 indeed. 4K for Lily10s. She'll be warming up very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, you can't mention standout players without talking about Lily10s. She had a phenomenal time during the regular season. She's someone that we've really been highlighting for quite a long time. Just has been such an impressive player from start to finish. So a great way for her to kick off her very first matchup here at the finals.
I'll tell you something, that's not a great way to kick off your first buy round on the CT side. Of course, hey, we've got the new and improved FAMAS, not the French gun it used to be, so we'll see what Sosia is able to do with it. The MP9, the MP9 as well is, you know, implemented in the right way, can be hyper dangerous. They've got good utility. FURIA ready for the trade frag should it be required. It won't be on this occasion, and Jammy's got to try and buy time for her team. She needs to try and hold some semblance of map control for her squad here. She has been isolated very quickly indeed. Desperately hiding behind the smoke, and again that pacing from FURIA. Never desperate, always measured. Ready for you to make a play. But with the lack of angles they have on this bomb site, how do they find their way back in? Oh, Bazina close, but not quite. Ulyss will stay alive to help her teammates. Who goes in first though? Ulyss at 48 HP. All around the bomb site. Lily10 showing some skin. Distracting, fragging, destroying. 3-0 for FURIA then.
Yeah, when you're playing up against a team like FURIA, if you're not 100% sure what you need to be doing, realistically, to deal with that pressure, you're either playing really proactive and trying to maybe get around them so that you can encircle a bit more, or you're just kind of playing retake. To slow down their momentum is going to be such a huge task. And if you've never played against this type of aggression, this type of like insane speed, I wouldn't recommend going for that straight off the bat. So hopefully we'll see some adaptations. Unlikely to happen in this round. Maybe we'll get a couple of consolations here.
Well, close up 5-7, had some promise, but again, we're hoping for scraps here at the moment for DMs. On the plus side, their next buy will be a full buy. But again, that doesn't mean FURIA will allow them to set the pace, take control of anything, make any plays. See how quick that decision was from FURIA? Before anybody shows skin through that smoke, they abort the plan, head elsewhere. Oh, Averona got something nice from there. Is she able to escape though? She's got to stand her ground here. Caught from the side by Gabs. Plenty of time for FURIA. They may be able to dispose of the weapon if they wish to as well. There'll be some information here for DMs, but I don't know how much they can do about it. Now, this position could be quite dangerous. Kitsuna, can she get more than one? Absolutely she can. It could be a stroke of fortune here for DMs then. As look at the remainder of FURIA, 2 versus 2. If the CTs end up rotating, oh, this could have gone FURIA's way, but still DMs are fighting. Now, Bazina will have some space, but she will have to be really quick on that trigger finger. With only 42 HP in that rotation, DMs will no doubt pick up some rifles as well. They've got to go for this. 2 together. Second one better be ready to trade. Do they go in quietly? I don't believe they have a kit. So surely Swastika goes in first. Low health player. Take a bullet for the rest of the squad. Will they be able to trade? Swastika is that information woman. She's found that information, but now can Ulyss deliver the goods with it? That clock continues to tick. Do you go for the round? Do you save the rifle? It might be too late. She's got that last kill. She's made it expensive, but she will have to fall back.
DMS have been pretty impressive, even on eco rounds. You know, thinking back to kind of the regular season, one of the things I noted about them was how well they do with limited utility on these like low buy rounds. They usually manage to get quite a bit done, and this is kind of a similar situation. It certainly felt like maybe FURIA get a little bit overconfident, maybe swinging out without the proper support there. It is a little bit crazy that you get that 2K with the 5-7. Like, that's a little bit outrageous just on its own. And slowly from there, you're able to claw it in and make it expensive. However, no round win despite that. And we're getting to a point now where it's starting to become a little bit stressful, and I think that's why we're taking this time out now and allowing the coach to step in and give them a little bit of insight here, because again, it's that speed. It's allowing FURIA to constantly dictate the pace, and for DMS, really the win condition here is finding a way to slow that down, and I think they've already managed to put some of the pieces together to figure out how to kind of force them to have to rotate, to force them to have to rethink their plan. Now we need to just see that convert.
Even if you're not the tactical type of coach, there's still that sports psychology. You made them all have to buy weapons again. Oh, the patience from Lula10s again. It is so difficult. There's so much to talk about right now. It's so difficult to find those CT aggressions in your N04, and surely you've got to feel that urgency to try and take the game away from FURIA, but they've got the pacing. They've got the understanding. They know what you want to do before you know in this scenario. So they've got all day to wait for you to make that play and punish. 5 versus 4 almost immediately. Now they can do absolutely whatever they want.
I lost a lot of map control early on DMS, and that's a bit of an unfortunate one because they had presence towards A. They kind of bought into this B thing, so now they've heavily reinforced the B site, which means A is likely to get overrun.
Yeah, and this might just be like if their A player goes down here, that's going to be the round. Swastika has to just try and hold and keep the door open, quite literally, for her team to be able to come back in. But if they're rotating through mid once again with these smokes up, that's going to be absolutely brutal, at least in theory. Maybe they can find a way. They might need a miracle to retake this bomb site. Averona holding the angles, and in they come. Gabs making Swastika look one way, but FURIA are ready from the other directions as well. And surely the trades will continue to go in FURIA's favor. Card delivers one straight to the face of Averona, and they had no chance once that bomb had been planted.
And we put so much pressure, or sorry, not pressure, so much emphasis on FURIA's ability to be like hard and fast and crazy aggressive, but they can adapt. They can be like, all right, cool, let's take it slow this round. We'll kind of push and pull a little bit, see if they show themselves, and then pivot off of that. So it's not like they're a one-dimensional team, and that's what makes the FURIA squad so incredibly scary. A round that maybe DMS could have had a chance in, and it's just yoinked away at the final moment.
As you pointed out in that previous round, that was some textbook Counter-Strike we saw from FURIA. Got a pick towards the B bomb site, expected reinforcements, went to the weak point, and that was A. Very simple, very effective. Now we see a wild round from DMs as they have the space to try and catch FURIA unawares, but again, they are such a strong team. One of the hardest ones to take by surprise. Very ready with their T-side pacing. MP9 though, getting some work done. Saucy looking for a third. She's got an opportunity if she can deliver the goods. Maybe waiting for a trade fragger that never came. And somehow she squeezes 3 frags out of that. There's still a minute on the clock though. That's a big headshot for Gabs. She's got a reasonable amount of HP left, picks up the bomb. And again, 50 seconds. There is time for her to decide where to go. But Ulyss is in a good position to get those sound cues. So it seems she may have to jump. Down to a 1v1. And it looks like she has picked the correct door, Gabs. If no one challenges her on the bomb, then she can go anywhere, and she's made that a really nasty plant also. There is the kit in the hands of Ulyss, but she has to find where Gabs will be hiding. And with that open plant, she could be in all kinds of directions. This will be a difficult one. Gabs can play the beeps. No need to face, just needs to listen. Don't think there'll be any util, any stray smoke grenade to make this a little more difficult for Gabs either. She's playing it very well so far, just double checking. Very nice indeed. There's the clutch from FURIA when it is required. Again, that's the kind of round you're not going to replicate against FURIA. Even if you win that's not really an indicator of success, but FURIA don't allow it to happen.
Well, the important thing about that round is how much money they managed to farm off of the MP9, because now Kitsuna can get an AWP on board. They've got a really strong buy, so ultimately they got what they wanted out of that round. It's just heartbreaking that it's another round that gets so devastating close to a 1 versus 1, and they can't clutch it out. FURIA already up to 6 rounds makes things terrifying, but maybe Kitsuna's AWP can be the difference maker.
This is a nuisance smoke grenade, which does threaten that a CT could be around the other side of it. And this does slow down FURIA. This is one of those things that stops them from playing their game. Even if Lulutens is identified that no one is there, that doesn't mean that no one can head there in the next few. So this is something that forces FURIA to respect what DMs are doing. They tried to set the pace in this round, but again, they are denied, and there are immediate problems on the B bomb site. And they're already surrounded by FURIA. This has got to be a big green light for them. Flames all over the shop. And that smoke will divide the bomb site for now. Lulutens rounds the corner, but the numbers are still far greater for FURIA. Gabs waiting for that rotation to come through. Masterful from FURIA once again. There's nothing else that DMs can do in this round.
I think one of the big issues is losing that map control so early on, and they've got the right ideas, but it's following up on that. You know, they give over so much space for FURIA to be able to split their way onto a site, and they divide the attention. So, you know, you're pulling a little bit of attention towards main, meanwhile somebody's pulling up through dark, and you kind of got too many people focusing in one area, nobody really focusing everywhere that needs to be looked at, and they take full advantage of that.
The way they seize opportunity is really difficult to deal with. Oh. And she somehow saves it. Well, that's something. Even on a half-buy round, like having an AWP can always win you a round. So we'll see what part that has to play in the next one. But again, for the teams who are going to be facing FURIA in the future, whether FURIA win or lose this game, this just shows you how tight the ship they run is. Again, if you hard counter them, as we saw in the online season, they will adapt, they will absorb, they will adapt, they will adjust very quickly indeed. If they're in the right position, their calls are fast. They understand the weakness from a frag in a certain position, and they will just seize the opportunity. They do not give you time to react. You saw the numbers and the speedometer from Newt, and that is being demonstrated time and time again in this game.
And it really does highlight the importance of, you know, competent isn't a strong enough word. Like a really great IGL. And the fact that they don't need to keep taking pauses, they don't need to keep bringing the coach in. Between the 5 of them, they're picking up on what the pacing is, and they're making those adaptations on the fly. And that's really what makes this team so incredibly terrifying. Now with just a few, 5 rounds left in the half, yeah, DMS, they've still got money, they've still got AWP in hand, and they have an opener.
Finally, a 5v4 for the CTs. I think Verona may have seen that smoke grenade being dropped to the side. Allowed her to visualize the frag a little quicker, a little snappier. There is time to recover something from this half for DMS, excuse me. I was waiting for myself to do that. Let's see if it starts now. Jammy's there to offer utility. You can see Sosia is in position for a very quick rotation. If support is required, support they will get. And definitely support is required on this bomb site. Averona with 2 more. Put out of her misery by Carr, who's got a lot of work to do here. She won't be doing much of that. Luluten's in the clutch now. 2 more players to go. Does she expect to play here? Almost showing some shoulder, but there is no pull of the trigger. Yulis starts to creep now. And you wonder if she saw Luluten's there. She was just waiting for some more skin to be shown. On the other side is the AWP. 30 seconds. Things become more urgent. Can she bait a shot? You can see she's trying to show some shoulder. And absolutely she does. There's the headshot. 20 seconds to go. Will she ever suspect the last player to come in from the back? 15 seconds. Got to be real careful about these angles. Oh, she spotted her and still alive. 46 HP. Can she really clutch this? Luluten's trying to pre-fire. She hears the footsteps, sees her close, but Yulis will finally get something for that CT side. First round on the board, but boy, was that tense.
I was about to say she had the fanciest footwork in the West, but unfortunately at that final moment, can't make that 1v1 clutch happen. And this is one of numerous rounds that have come down to a 1v1. And what's so important is that I think that this is a bit of a confidence builder to be like, yes, we can make this happen. The rounds have been incredibly close, so consistently. We just need to tighten up a little bit, and it's not too late. There is still a lot of opportunity for them, but they have to convert that into momentum. If they stop here, that could just kind of be the end of the map. So we need to see a little bit more out of that. Keep clawing their way into these rounds and get that confidence back. Know that you can win those fights.
Luluten's is devastating in the clutch.
Oof.
Close, but not quite on that occasion. Is there momentum to be had in the dying rounds of the first half here for DMS? Trailing by 6. We see FURIA looking for victims in this mid position. They've won and lost duels here before. And this is important for DMS to be able to rotate in from site to site. So this takeoff mid is a massive problem because only 2 of the 5 are on the A bomb site, and they are desperately trying to hold things down. But Jammy's already down to the pistol, and she'll get smoked by Bazina. This time Gabs won't cut off that rotation, but they will eliminate the lurkers. That molly will be real important, and Izza knows there's more to come behind that incendiary. 3 players remaining. Carr on 2 HP. Walking into a flick from Kitsuna. This might be a second for DMS. Luluten still standing though, full health with heavy lifting to be done. Izza's only got 20 HP, she's gone now, and it's Luluten's once again in the clutch. She's got 2 more to collect, trying to isolate these fights, and we know she knows how to do that. We've seen it before, dropping a HE into the smoke, spotting the trade fragger and collecting them both. Beautiful work, yet another highlight for Luluten.
It's outrageous. That's just unfair. The fact that the HE does so much damage onto the diffuser, then she's able to get the backup player who's like just elevated above the smoke, and they know that she's there, and it doesn't matter. She still just gets both of those kills. It's out. She's sitting on 16 and 4 at the moment. Like, it's literally just unfair. And I was talking about the confidence building and how that needed to be that round for DMS. And unfortunately, I think right now you just kind of fall straight back into the dumps.
In the clutch, she is... Oh, never mind. There's no time to even talk about that because we have the W key stuck on the keyboard as it is a full send into this A bomb site. Of course, they'll still be holding any rotations around the back. But the heat map is as hot as an oven door on this A bomb site. That's a nice frag from Averona with the scout, no less. But how much more can be done? Double scout from the CT side as the charge came in to this A bomb site. Do they shoot from the hip? How do they try and solve this? It only gets harder versus FURIA. Carr trying to deny access, but I think she'll need to get her gun back out. Another scout frag is here, but there aren't kits on these last 2 CTs. Death by paper cuts for DMS in round 10. As that bomb will be absolutely secure, and FURIA will make their exit.
And again, another round that is just so incredibly close in terms of actual eliminations. But DMS can't close it out. They can't get those final kills. They didn't have the kit on board. And even if they had in a 1 versus 2, I mean, they've consistently been losing the 1v1s. They lost a 3v1. Like, it's becoming the unclimbable mountain, the undoable. And now at 9-1, 2 rounds left. If FURIA nab these next 2, this feels like the last stand for DMS. They need these next 2 rounds. If they lose this round, it's back to broken econ, more or less. I mean, Ulysses got some cash, but more or less busted. And I think that's kind of it.
Murder, she wrote, is the story of this first half. Lulaten's fishing for more. Maybe she's trying to get to 20 in this first half. Starting to creep into the site. Bomb in tow as well. That is confidence. But as Lulaten's is dropped, so will the bomb go soon after. FURIA clearly committed to this one. And only 2 remain. Gabs and Car. 2 on 2 as Ulysses dropped. Sosya coming in from the back now, but she'll be heard and spotted and swatted by Gabs. And Kitsuno will follow. Looking for the second one. Rounding the pillar. But won't do much more. 10-1 for FURIA.
That was quite a gamble from Averona because she's just like standing in a Molotov and she's like, I'm going to get mine. And she does, which is absolutely ridiculous. She does manage to get a kill as she's burning alive. And that's kind of the thought process there. Like, I'm probably going to die anyway. Let me at least try and get one. If she backs away, maybe she lives a bit longer, but they've given up too much space. So a major gamble from them. And again, it keeps the round close, but no cigar. Now into this round, this final one, there is a little bit of cash still just to tide them over, but will one round be enough to survive, for them to survive a bit longer in this best of 1?
Aggressive and prompt map control we're seeing from FURIA. How will DMS choose to use their utility? No mollies left, it'll be hard to retake. So they've got presence at the front of A, the side of B. Very difficult if you're the CT squad to know where you put that third player. And they've pulled a short straw on many an occasion in this first half. So again, it's going to be a 5-on-2 on this A bomb site. Sosya is gone. Jammy next on the barbecue, unless holds for now. But again, that rotation being caught by Car, who's just going hunting, looking for the transfer as well. Ulyss and Jammy versus 3. There is a kit. And now it's on the floor. Ulyss, with all the work to do, has to run through a smoke grenade and hope for the best. But at the end of the half, it will be 11-1, a landslide, an avalanche for FURIA so far. We'll see how long the second half goes after the break.
Excuse me, señor. One moment, please. Yeah, disculpa. I know my English not good looking, but are you using salt? Cause there's no flavor in this place.
Dile a quien fue que cocinó sin el sazón que no se aguante. Ponle un poquito de cebolla y limón a ese picante. Ese mangú no me lo como. Le hace falta sal y huele a mojo. Hay brujería en esa vaina, me hizo daño. Pues tu mamá se come un plátano muy extraño. Ya estoy cansado de estar picando por la plaza, amor. Quiero comerme un desayuno ahí en tu casa, amor. 2 huevitos con chorizo te cocino. No soy cochino, te lo cambio por tocino. Dile a quien fue que cocinó sin el sazón que no se aguante. Ponle un poquito de cebolla y limón a ese picante. Es que te extraño como la cocina de la abuela o la empanada de tu vieja. La nena dulce como la miel de abeja. Yo me muero pa' comer si tú me dejas. Diablo, nena, que tú sí estás fuera liga. Mango bajito, lo que son tus amigas. Por eso que yo no me encaramo en árbol. Gracias por el plato, pero es que le falta algo. Dile a quien fue que cocinó sin el sazón que
Yo con lo mío quiero gozar. Dale pa' acá, dale pa' allá. Se prendió la fiesta, se prendió la fiesta. Yo quiero esta noche gozar. Yo quiero gozar. Gózatelo una vez más, solo una vez más. Yo quiero con lo mío bailar. Echa pa' acá, echa pa' allá, bebé. Este ritmo está como es. Muévelo, ¿quién fue? No te despistes que es lo que vine con mi pana, con mi catamara, mi dominicana, colombiana y venezolana. ¿Dónde están las mexicanas? Muévelo, muévelo, no veo a mi boricua. Sacúdelo, oh, 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 oh. El ambiente está fresco, el ritmo lo siento. Aquí se
Lula10's in the clutch, as nasty as salty licorice. Definitely left a bad taste in the mouth of DMS, and they'll be absolutely parched after an arid half with only 1 round from 12. But there is still a chance. It is a long shot, but it's a shot no less. And there is a long shot in the face of Bizina, but with a Glock, you're gonna have to do more. Moving through now, safety in numbers as they tease the A-bomb site. There is a lurker round the other side. Don't be smoked off. Heading towards that B-bomb site, which FURIA have somewhat abandoned. Lost some position now. Lula10's next one to eat a headshot, but still be standing. And Sosia's the first one to fall. The Julies are out in the hands of Gabs. The bomb is planted, and DMS have more to do. FURIA coming for the retake now, still with 5 players standing. Lula10's and Bizina will be the pinatas for this. Surely they've got to go first, take a bullet, create that space, move those crosshairs away from their teammates. But it's not Lula10 who takes it first. She's not the one you want in the clutch, but she will be dealt with, leaving Kara in a 1v3. And I think it may be too late. DM's passed the first test in the second half, but there are many more tests to come.
Yeah, like it's hard to feel like this is it, you know, like that was the bare minimum that they needed. If they didn't get that, I mean, that's kind of GG. So it's the first step of many, the first step of a 1,000-mile journey to get themselves to a somewhat contendable situation. The really key thing here, I think, is the fact that it's done on their T side. So they come into this next round with a full buy, and FURIA not opting to get cheeky about this, don't spend, but that is very scary for the next round.
They know exactly what they want to do, and on this occasion it is create chaos. A fast eco round is a good eco round, and we'll thank FURIA for a fast eco round. They sent it in mid. They did get some frags, which again does help relieve the pressure. We didn't really have time to say that in the first half in that round where DMs managed to take down all the FURIA players. It does relieve the pressure if you do win a buy round later on, because there's just less full buys in the hole for the T side. And that pressure game is really important when you're on that T side. Anyway, it'll be a solid buy with all the primary weapons for FURIA, spending absolute 0 in that round prior. And I think they only had the 1 flash. But again, on a map where it's very difficult to make plays on your CT side and very costly, might not be the worst thing in the world. Hold on a second. I see on the radar Lula10's very close to the entrance of B, and they are going to pop out dry and be rewarded for it as well. Only seeing 1 player, instant molly on the other side. They respond so fast, it is unbelievable. DMs may feel like their choice has been taken away though. In parts it might have felt like FURIA were forcing them to go in now, otherwise things are only going to get worse. But again, there's smokes in there. Incendiary start to come through, and FURIA to stop DMs from doing anything they want to.
And they still have so much of that map control as well. Like FURIA just not over-rotating, not making any silly decisions. They're standing their ground.
They are pulling DMs from pillar to post. And this is, again, this is like a warning for every other team in this tournament. FURIA are dictating the pace without leaving, well, I mean, slightly leaving the bomb sites, but DMs haven't been able to really do anything just yet. There are 30 seconds left. Finally, they get a kill, and the CTs are just coming for them. Lula10's eventually trading. She could run distraction as Bazina is at the back of the side. The Molotov is up, and she's going to have to start moving. Car and Lula10's now. Lula10's on 2 HP. FURIA getting hyper aggressive in this one, and they choose to cut their losses. So that should have been a FURIA round, I think it's fair to say. Again, the presence of mind, the idea as to what the opponent is doing, and then denying everything DMs thought they should do. FURIA then denied them to do that afterwards, but somehow DMs still come out with the round.
I think a large part of it is the kind of solo peeking that we see towards Dark and Water. So that first kill comes through, the two players in Dark are like, all right, there's someone just around the corner. Then there's like a single swing, and that player goes down as well. And then eventually Lula10's takes down, I can't remember who it was that was tucked into the corner there, but it takes 3 players to finally get her down, which was a bit of a... The first one, which was like all the way in Narnia, you've got your late lurk player coming through. That kind of makes sense. And then to have the next player go down, bit of a misstep there. But well done, of course, to DMS for taking full advantage of that. Like, you know what, you're going to give that to us on a silver platter? Thank you very kindly. That's a free round.
Yeah, I think the action around E-Box, Connector, Dart, whichever one you call it, swung things in DM's favor a little more as well. Now, after an expensive round like that, have they earned some respect from FURIA? Because FURIA are one of those teams who are saying, give us a reason to respect you. That's a promising start then from DMs. Oh my god, what a snap from Bazina. We haven't even had a chance to really mention Bazina just yet, with Lula10's going nuclear in that first half. FURIA always dangerous, not to be counted out when they've got 5-7s in a round such as this. And Izza might be the bait for Car to deliver afterwards, but it seems that DMs might just be ready for them. Jammy delivering the goods. Gabs and Bazina remain 2 versus 4. Lots of utility. Jammy knows her angles. Jammy in English is slang for lucky, but there's no luck required with Jammy checking those angles. That is pure training and spatial awareness.
This is a great resurgence for DMS. I wasn't sure that they'd be able to do it with, you know, 1 round at the half. And there is still a lot to get done, but obviously the shining kind of star in this is the fact that even in a rifle round, they were able to do it. And obviously this was like a save or an eco round for FURIA, and Gabs managing to steal away one of those AKs will certainly help them into the next round and possibly, you know, the next rounds, the following rounds. But they did actually win a full rifle, and that gives signs of hope. It hasn't been a case of like grand heroics that somehow magically gave them something to do. It came down to them actually playing the round really well and utilizing those advantages. So that gives me a little bit of hope here. 6-round deficit. It certainly feels like it can be done, but they don't really have any buffer, and that's the scary part. Losing 1 round here could be the absolute snowball into decimation.
As DMs keep collecting rounds, FURIA will have to play more carefully. Run a tight ship. Seen some wild swings so far on the CT side, but they may have to rein it in somewhat. Holding on to a lot of utility of FURIA. Cheeky peek. Bazina gets away with her head. She'll have to concede the position. Now, how will FURIA respond to that? Rotation through CT for Bazina. As she goes back and forth, you can read in her movement the communication that FURIA are doing in response to the util DMs are throwing. DMS, excuse me. Bomb being collected now as there is somewhat of a retake around that A-bomb site. Again, crucial time to thwart the potential intentions of DMS here and also get information. Sub 40-second mark, that's where things start to get warmer. And again, Bezina trying to figure out which site to go on and look for flanks towards mid, which is uncontested. And now DMS are in a very good position to split the bomb site. They've got the numbers to trade, and Car is on an island looking to deliver in multiple directions. Doesn't know where to look. They have been split by DMS. How many more CTs will they throw at this? The bomb site's been lost. It's a 3v2. This could be more pricey, but that is an important frag. Izza now in the clutch, 1 versus 2. She's got half the information, but she can't catch, and DMS will collect another round.
I was a little bit worried about how that kicks off because they use quite a lot of utility to kind of keep the pacing, slow things down, because they're playing very slow in that round. But they're not really gaining much ground. They're not gaining a whole hell of a lot of traction. They're still way outside A main. They haven't really made any movements in towards mid, and I'm like, all right, you're burning all of your utility. What are you going to use on the exec? And FURIA almost play scared, it feels like. Maybe not scared, but very hesitant. They don't push in. They're like, all right, when's the next barrage of utility going to come through? And when they eventually do push in, well, by that point, they've already pincered their way in towards the site, and the retake is nigh on impossible. So that was a really good round from DMS, but I'm curious to see if FURIA find a way to kind of flip that on its head, right? Because we're starting to see telltale signs. DMS play this really slow game. They kind of play a little bit of push and pull, but they use a lot of their utility early on. So how do FURIA respond to that? In this round, well, Car's got an AWP, so I suppose anything's possible.
That is absolutely true. There are sound cues for the CTs as well. Car, I think, oh,
damn.
Wow. Never mind, no time to talk because DMS have got the W key in their possession now, and that is a lightning fast round. I was going to say, you could see the communication for Car with the T's running off the bridge into the water. She fell back to a position where she could kind of reset, and then she just got popped. That was nasty.
Flying
We've got a
Jenny.
real game on our hands here.
Yeah, obviously at the end of that half, I think we were all just kind of like, all right, cool, pack it in, folks. But this is the comeback. This is where it happens. FURIA have yet to pick up a round in this half. They've just been kind of run over. And as the queens of aggression, as we've kind of called them throughout the regular season, this is a really weird look for them, and they're looking really uncomfortable.
That's their turn to play. Where are they? DMS setting the pace, finally feeling control of the game. Could see FURIA more hesitant to peek out of B on that occasion. They were being waited for. In that sense, they made the right read. The HE later on might have confirmed that. Airstrikes all over the shop. DMS just waiting for, like pre-punishing any shenanigans from FURIA. They haven't really caught them yet. They've got 499 HP. And still some smokes to throw. And incendiaries and HEs as well. FURIA have a plan of their own. But again, where do you put that third person? Again, the CTs don't really have that mid position. Bezina's going to have a quick look now. She's got a very difficult role in this half. Get information, but also stay alive. If this gets smoked off, then the players on the A bomb site should be screwed. Have a look at that angle. Why was there no frag there? Car finds a nasty one first instead. This could have really gone the other way. What happened? Suddenly it's Jamie and Kitsuna all alone. 2 on 4. Can't hesitate versus FURIA. You will pay for it. Suddenly FURIA win one of those few rounds they need in this second half.
That's exactly what I was saying, man. So that previous round, we see that slow pacing. We see the utility coming out really early on that's trying to dictate and deny FURIA space. So FURIA take a timeout. They're like, all right, cool. We'll just wait it out. It'll be fine. Car gets the craziest angle. I don't even know exactly where she was, that she had that just like perfect precision. And I saw the bomb moving towards mid and I thought, okay, well, there's a possibility that they could pivot over towards B instead. But they go for the exact same thing that they did in the previous round, and FURIA just waiting, arms wide open. Map point now for them.
Oh, Izza got caught being cheeky. Again, FURIA back pressing the big red button, and it's not working in their favor. Heavy losses for the CT side. They've got to call it. Surely, Car and Gabs are not in position. 2v4. Their money is busted as well. They need to find a hidey hole and stay there. Tuck in deep. Yes, they are on match point, but by no means is this match won just yet. DMS have been building confidence with the correct reads, strong plays, pacing. They've taken control of these rounds. They've stopped being a victim to FURIA. So nothing is guaranteed at this point.
And this is a really cool change-up, I feel like, for DMS, because I was literally just talking about how they do this, like, slow and steady, like, dictate the pacing. And in this round, they just go, woo, W key, and run straight in towards the site. And FURIA are like, wait, what just happened? And you check Luliten's being like, they're probably playing slow, so I'm going to push through this smoke. And I'm going to, like, nah, just instantly shut down. And it's a great read from DMS. And it keeps them alive just that little bit longer. And as you mentioned, with the economy being such a problem right now, that should springboard them to at least another round. And I love, again, that we've got like another timeout coming through here, because as you're getting closer and closer to the end of this map, you've got to make sure that, for one thing, your players aren't getting kind of in their own heads, because that can really happen, right? The underdog team getting like way too hyped could start making mistakes, and the team who should be the favorites start to feel like, hang on, what on earth is going on? So you've got to kind of keep those emotions in check and make sure that the plan is still in place. And I'm loving this. I love the fact that DMS are really showing up here, because I was feeling devastated in that first half, and they have. They've pushed back in a really strong way. But despite what the economy looked like, FURIA will still come into this with a bye. There is still a world.
Hold on a second. These teams look like they are sending it straight into the A bomb site, and only Gabs is there running through fire. How long can she survive for? Oh, she's going straight through the smoke, but can she pick the right timing? Trying to flank these T's, but it's not going to work out for her or the rest of the squad. FURIA getting slapped by DMS in these rounds. Luliten's in the clutch again. Surely she doesn't go for it. How many highlights does she have in her? We've seen some crazy clutches from her in the past, but I think this one would be too much to ask. This score is getting uncomfortably close for FURIA now. They should be in a cafeteria by now.
Like, Luliten's has actually slowed down quite a bit in the second half. She hasn't really had as many opportunities as she did in the first. And the conditioning from DMS, I think that's the big one here. The fact that they play so much of the first bit of the second half really slow, really patient, and suddenly they just hit the accelerator, and FURIA just, they're kind of floundering a little bit here. But the crucial part of the fact that they had such a huge lead coming into the second half is the fact that they've had a bit of time now. And there's every possibility that within the next round or two, they'll be able to read into that flow and flip it back around. The problem is, now this is where the economy becomes that problem. That previous round was kind of when it needed to happen. So the timing on this is kind of all over the place, and they're running out of opportunities. This could be an upset really early on.
Oh, it's a full set from Izza. She's going to catch one, run out of bullets. How much has she got left? Oh, Kitsune's missed. Yeah. These rounds FURIA win way too often because they just have too much talent on the team. 2 versus 3. This is chaos, but this is still winnable. This is still hyper dangerous for DMS. I've seen so many games won with rounds like this. You just don't know where these CTs are going to be now. It was such a great read the round prior where DMS sent it into that A bomb site. FURIA were like, let's bolster mid. Wonderful. But when they just say, let's just go and shoot them in the face wherever they may be, hopped in the taxi, off they went. Now, FURIA have been careful, what remains of them, about moving around. No upgrades for the 2 players, but hey, a 5-7's often all you need. Together on B as DMS clear out the A-bomb site. Utility may give it away before the bomb is planted. There's the smoke.
Bomb has been planted.
Now, this was a half buy from them, so they should all be able to buy regardless in the next round. If they come across an AK or an AWP or something, then maybe they can choose to save. So far away, though. They do have a kit. So it's about getting the abacus out and figuring out, do we have anything to lose if we go for it? Does it make a difference to our buys, etc.?
Abacus, damn. I think they were going for something similar to what we saw from DMS in the first half. And, I mean, pretty standard, right? Try and farm up with the MP9, see if you can get a little bit of extra cash on the board, see if you can kind of get a bit more of an investment into that next round. And they were actually able to recover some of those guns, which is really helpful.
Yeah.
That's going to make their buy a lot easier into this next round. But this is where things are, I would say, really stressful. They've only picked up the 1 round so far. They only needed 2 to close out the whole map. We only managed to pick up 1 thus far. And again, a moment of respite, a moment of conversation, because things have just looked insane.
Saving those rifles as well, depending on how other rounds go, if they have other people saved, may give them a full buy over the odd rifle. So let's see what they choose to do. 2 rounds until they tie then for DMS, who eats some fat grenades on the stairs. How much promise is behind that damage for FURIA? Victory feels alien to them at the moment. Lula10s is a big first frag. We know how dangerous she is when a round goes deep. 5-on-4 for DMS then. Plenty of time as well. Plenty of time to allow FURIA to make their plays if that's what they want to do. Still assaulting this B bomb site, but they've got a really good spread across the map. They're looking for FURIA to try and do something elsewhere. Car creeping with AWP. Sometimes you just can't stop her. Have a look at that though from Kitsuna. Looks like a good lineup. Nothing doing though. The trades will continue down to a 3-on-3. Just under a minute on the clock. Bomb collected by Sosia. Dezina will need to stay alive. She can buy time for her team to rotate in. Oh, she'll collect both of them. And this might be it for FURIA. Sosia now finds herself 1 versus 3. Trade frag is set up, won't be needed though. Gabs delivers the last one and FURIA will finally close out their first match.
That's heartbreaking. Those 2 players just line up and you can see what they're trying to do. Get together, swing together, make sure that you can get that player and reinforce yourself in the post plant, but they're just